Now, I do have some pro day updates because the pro day circuit kicked off this week, right? So we went from the combine right into the pro day trails. March 2nd was the first one. In fact, Ball State got things started. And Ball State had 12 players work out, 13 NFL teams in attendance. And the headliner there was Nathan Voorhees, the edge rusher, who produced 12 sacks, 17 and a half tackles for loss, I believe, 51 tackles as a first team All Mac selection. He is a transfer from UConn, where he played linebacker. This year, he played with his hand in the dirt. Got a chance to see him over at the Hula Bowl. Didn't run great at 4.77 in the 40-yard dash, but showed some explosion with a 37-inch vertical jump and a 9'10" broad jump. Now, the teams who were in attendance scouting Nathan Voorhees, you may ask, Detroit, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Atlanta, Indianapolis, New Orleans, Las Vegas, Arizona, the G-Men, San Francisco, Chicago, Washington, and Cleveland. Okay, the next day, March 3rd, you had Miami, Ohio, who didn't have a lot of players, just 5 players working out, but some notable players. And there were 20 NFL scouts in attendance. Some of those notable players included defensive back Eli Blakely, who was also at the Hula Bowl, I believe. Silas Walters, who is a safety, I also saw amongst the All-Star trails. But Jackson Kuwach, if you tuned into the show during the All-Star game circuit, Kuwach really turned heads. He transferred from Ohio State. He walked on to the Miami, Ohio football team. Really just a one-year wonder. He busted out in a big way. Over 100 tackles this past year. 6'4", 235, third team All-Mac selection. And I do apologize that I did fail to write down his combine testing results, but I did want to make note of Jackson Kuwach. I tried to do the best that we can here. All right. Purdue Pro Day had quite a few players. I have quite a few updates from the Purdue Boilermakers. Tony Grimes, transfer from North Carolina, has bounced around, probably a sixth-year senior. He ran a 4.52 with 38 inches, 10'2" broad, 4.38. Short shuttle, a 7.1 three cone, and 15 bench press reps. Probably an undrafted free agent guy that can make the back end of a roster. Wide receiver, E.J. Horton Jr., pretty good length. Don't have the size and weights here, but I do have 4'4", 40, 35-inch vert, 10'4" broad, 4.33 short shuttle, 7.06 three cone, 13 bench presses. Now, one guy who didn't test exactly well, but did very well in the positional drills and made a lot of great catches from the highlights that I saw. Michael Jackson II ran a 4.62 with a 32.5-inch vert, 9'4" broad, 4.51 shuttle, 7.28 three cone, 19 bench press reps. But again, was very impressive catching the ball. So maybe a training camp invite, camp body type of prospect. CJ Nunnally the fourth. Ran a 4.80, 29-inch vert, 9.5 broad, 4.76 shuttle, 7.59 three cone, 12 bench press reps. He is somewhat on the NFL radar, probably an undrafted free agent guy. Now, running back Devin Maccabee got injured this year, so I was curious to see how he was going to test. Didn't work out so well. Not sure if he's 100% healthy. 4.78 in the 40, not too great for a running back. 32.5-inch vert, 9.10 broad, 4.64 shuttle, 7.14 three cone. One more from Purdue, linebacker Manu Powell. He's about 6 foot 200. 4.60, 32-inch vert, 10.2 broad, 18 bench press reps. That is your Purdue Pro Day. Okay. I have the Wisconsin Pro Day results, but before we get to Wisconsin, it must be noted all 32 teams for the first time ever in attendance at the Navy Pro Day workout to see Landon Robinson, the defensive tackle who turned heads, I believe, at the Shrine Bowl, one of the best players in attendance. Did not get the combine invite, so all 32 showed up to find out if he's a draftable prospect. 5'11" and 2/8 inches. Gonna ding him a bit. 293, little undersized. Ran 4.87 with a 1.65 split, 30 bench press reps. So he's got some size and strength. 32.5-inch vert, pretty good. 9.2 broad, 4.48 in the short shuttle, 7.32 in the 3-cone. And then one other pro day that was held this week was Wisconsin, which had several guys. Not sure if any of these guys are getting drafted, but they're all on the cusp. They may or may not hear their names in day 3. Vinny Anthony, the wide receiver, who I think was at the Senior Bowl, made a bunch of plays throughout the week. He ran 4.53, 32.5-inch vert, 9.7 broad, 4.07 shuttle. Very impressive. 6.68 3-cone. So you're talking about change of direction, short area quickness. None of these Badgers, I don't believe, were invited to the combine. So Vinny Anthony now, strong Senior Bowl, strong combine. He has now positioned himself as possibly one of the 20 or so players not invited to the combine who are expected to get drafted come April. Vinny Anthony, remember the name. Ricardo Hallman, he flashed as well at the Shrine Bowl. The cornerback, defensive back, ran 4.52, 37-inch vert, 9.7 broad, 4.38 short, 7.22 cone, 13 bench press reps. I think he's a priority free agent. Riley Malman, the offensive lineman, who might be the best prospect for the Badgers, did not run, though, in the 40-yard dash, which is always a concern. That's a red flag. 30-inch vert, 8.10 broad, 4.59 shuttle, 7.65 3-cone, 17 bench press reps. And then tight end Lance Mason, very good blocker, but he flashed some pass catching ability at the Hula Bowl. I was very thoroughly impressed with the Lance Mason, and he timed well. 4.64 in the 40, 32.5-inch vert, 9.7 broads, 4.36 shuttle, 7.45 3-cone, 22 bench press reps. Pretty good showing there for Lance Mason. And then every year you get these workout warriors that just come out of nowhere, and safety Austin Brown is one of those guys. If you're not familiar with Austin Brown, well, I was not familiar with your game, Austin. I will have to go back and circle the wagons and watch your film, because at 5'11" and 6/8 inches, 199 pounds, he had 20 bench press reps, 43-inch vertical, 10.9 broad jump, 4.44 in the 40-yard dash with a 1.67, 1.61 10-yard split. Can't read my handwriting. I apologize. But 4.44 in the 40, 4.14 in the short, 7.05 in the 3-cone. Very good athletic testing ability there for the one Austin Brown. So that is your week 1 pro day circuit in the books. And was Vinny Anthony invited to the combine? Okay, good catch, Doug. All right, so Vinny Anthony was the one guy from Wisconsin invited to the combine. I do like his chances, maybe, to hear his name called late, early on. The others, I think Hallman, Malman, Mason, specifically Malman and Mason, I think can be make it guys at the next level. Austin Brown, I'll have to go back